Hey everybody, what is going on? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you guys for being here. This is your watch list video for Lotto Friday, December 2nd. If you are a first timer to this channel, then welcome to you guys. Thank you for being here. We are about to simplify your trading. We are about to change your trading into being a profitable trader, a more consistent trader, a trader who manages their risk and cuts their losses and lets their runners run. Now we're going to go through the watch list. Like I said, for this video, I put these videos out for free every single day for you guys. I put out daily watch lists, weekly swings, monthly swings, all for free. Now, if you want extra information, extra little tidbits, extra helpful hints on this stuff, at the end of this video, there will be more information that you can click on, other playlists, other videos. The other thing that I'm going to do special today for the Lotto Friday video, I'm going to put the top 5 plays at the end of this video. So those are normally reserved for the Griswold Gold members. That membership can be found, the information for that membership can be found in the Discord. The link for the Discord is down in the description below. So the Discord is free to join, but there is a paid member part of that, the Griswold Gold members. It's $50 a month, or you buy 2, get 1 free, but it includes top 5s every day. It includes ad-free YouTube videos. It includes one-on-ones with myself, group chats with myself and the other members, live trading bots that send out live trade setups for you guys so you don't have to go looking for them. The Griswold Strat indicator, the indicator that I created for you guys, all the Strat indicators wrapped into one. So make sure you guys are going to check out that offer. The other thing I want to go through is the screen that you see here. That's TradingView. This is how I chart every single one of my trades. If you guys are looking for a platform like this, there's a link in the description below to get a free 30-day trial to their subscription-based services. Now they do offer a free service, but this link will give you 30 free days to their subscription-based services. And so I use a Pro Plus, and then if you decide to use that sub-service, you'll get up to $30 off of that sub-service. One more thing before I roll through these watch lists, these setups, guys. The ads that roll through, I know they're annoying, I know they suck, but those ads pay for this video to be free. It pays for your guys' education. So I'm going to thank you guys in advance for letting those videos play through, and I'm going to say that I appreciate you guys very much for doing that, because it pays for my time and it pays for you guys to learn this stuff. So thank you guys. Let those ads roll through. Let's get started on this watch list. And don't forget, at the end of the video, I will put out the top 5 plays for Lotto Friday. So the first one we've got on the board is American Airlines, AAL. So AAL has a 2-up that finished red. You notice the candlestick numbers down below. That's part of the indicator I created for you guys. A 2-up, meaning this candle only broke the high of the previous candle. Okay, so that's what we call a 2-up. If it only broke to the downside of this candle, it would have been a 2-down. But we are a 2-up, and most times when we see a 2-up, we would expect it to finish green. Well, this one finished red. So when we have a 2-up that finishes red, we look for a trend back to the downside. That is what we call probability. And guys, listen. If you're looking at this stuff, if you're looking at any strategy, I don't care if it's this one or something else or whatever it is, every trade, every setup, every strategy is based off of probability. And there's nothing that's 100% true in the market. And if anybody ever tells you that their plays are 100% foolproof, they're lying. Because nobody knows. When this opens up on Friday, when this candle opens up right here on Friday, we don't know what it's going to do. We have an idea or probability of what may happen, but we don't know. So like I said, every trade, every strategy is based off of a probability. And if the probabilities go against us, it's the best risk managers that become the best traders. Anybody can click a button and be right 50% of the time. But it's when you're wrong, how do you handle that trade? How do you handle those emotions of that trade? That's what makes the successful traders successful, and that's what we really have to get a grasp on and get a hold on. And I know it's easy to talk about and easy to say, but the hardest thing is actually following through and cutting your losers and letting your winners run. So American Airlines 2 up, finished red. We're going to look for puts here at $13.93. If you're trading common shares, I don't want you shorting things. So anybody who's just trading commons, you look for those breaks to the upside on these setups that we're going to go through. So puts at $13.93, first target. Normally, guys, this would be the first target. But if we look, I want you guys to pay attention right here where it says low of $13.93. So when I hover over the green candle, it's a low of $13.93. When I hover over the next candle, the candle from Thursday, the low is $13.93. So these wicks are exactly the same. So this can't be our target. This right here becomes our target off of this inside bar, the bottom of the wick. So the next preceding wick, and then the next preceding wick. And then we would just take the next preceding wick. That's how we mark out our targets. And it's the same going to the upside, the next preceding wick to the high side. So we can look for puts at $13.93, first target at $13.83 on American Airlines. Airbnb, 2 up, finished red. We know how those work because we just went through it. Puts at $99.55, and this is good magnitude. And what I mean by magnitude is just the space between the trigger and the target. So your magnitude, your target, your spot where your bulls have your stop losses, they all mean the same thing, but I like to have a little meat on the bones here. So we've got about $4 difference here from the trigger to the target. That's a lot of meat on the bone. And we're going to talk about when there isn't that much meat, there isn't that much room between these two, what happens, but we'll look at it on a different ticker. So Airbnb puts at $99.55. We'll move on to Adobe. Adobe 2 up, finished red again, puts at $341.50 and fantastic magnitude. Now listen, guys, just because we have this target, it doesn't mean that we're going to hit this target, okay? It's absolutely not what it means. So you can even, if you looked at this outside bar and you said you were going to trigger this outside bar right here, and you said, well, if we break to the high, I'm going to take it. Well, we didn't hit targets. So we got about halfway up. But what we do then is and I do this anyways, regardless, the triggers and the targets are set on a higher time frame. We manage the trade on a lower time frame. That gives us the ability to manage our risk better. And the smaller time frame you use, the less risk you inherit because of the way and the size of the candlesticks on a 30-minute bar versus a 5-minute bar. A 30-minute bar is going to have way more range between highs and lows than a single 5-minute bar. So you can do it either way. There's no right or wrong way to do this. If you want to set your triggers and targets on a day and manage on an hourly, that's fine. Manage on a 30, 15, 10, 5, 3, I don't care. I use the 5 personally because I like to keep my risk small, and if the trade doesn't work, it doesn't work. And if it ends up running after I cut it, well, that is what it is, and we move on to the next one. So Adobe, really good setup here, puts at $341.50. AMD, 2 up red, same idea as Adobe. We're going to look for puts at $76.44. And we'll mark that target out together right there. We'll change it to green. So my targets are set in green. There we go. Puts at $76.44. First target at $72.81. From AMD, we go to Amazon. Amazon, same thing. 2 up red. We will look for puts on Amazon, $94.92 on the right side here, whereas that's where I'm calling it out. And let's mark our targets out there at $91.60 on Amazon. We go on to BA, that's Boeing, inside bars. Okay, guys, if you're new, listen up. If you've been with me for a while, you know what I'm about to say. Inside bars, or these yellow bars, that's part of the Griswold Strat indicator that I've created for you. Part of the Griswold Gold membership. You can also buy it separately. That link is down below as well. But when you see these inside bars, guys, the inside bar or the 1 bar, you see the number right there. It's a 1 candle. It does not break the high. It does not break the low of the previous candle. It stays within that range, and it's a consolidating range, and it's compacting. And when you see that yellow bar, I want you guys to think of a spring or a jack-in-the-box when you tighten it, and it gets tighter, 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 tighter. And when you get that, you expect an explosion back to the upside. And if you guys know what a broadening formation is, I've started explaining it this way. We are basically in a inversed broadening formation. So we come into a tightening range now, and we're looking for, a lot of people call this a flag, but I'm just showing you we don't use a flag when we're teaching this strategy, but this is essentially what is happening. It's a tightening range, okay? And so we're looking for it to break out of that tightening range, that consolidating range. And if we go back and look at in time, we can see the breaks. Now this one gapped up, but it had a big explosion to the upside. This one here, and again, I talked about probability earlier. I'm going to talk about it again. Probabilities tell us that we should have a really big run off of this inside bar. Now, did we? No. We triggered, it barely ticked, and then it came back down. And that's unfortunately what you get sometimes with trading. And the probability went against us. It's just like in a roulette table. If you hit black 10 times in a row, probability is that at some point you're going to hit red. Okay, so we're looking for a red to happen here. It didn't happen. Okay, it went the opposite direction that we thought it would. Play didn't work out, and we cut our losses. And again, I said the best traders are the ones who manage their risk the best. Okay, here's another one we triggered, and this one hit target, so it did its job. We triggered off the bottom of the inside bar, and then we hit the first target. Did exactly what it said it was going to do. Okay, I like to go back in time and show you guys that stuff just to show you that it doesn't always work out the way we would expect it to. Okay, it's a probability, and sometimes a probability is just, it goes against what it should have done. Okay, Comcast 2 up, finished red. We got a shooter candle. That is an actionable signal. A shooter candle has this body at the bottom with a big long wick to the top. Okay, or an inverse hammer. We're going to look for puts at 36.20 and first targets at 35.17. Good magnitude on that one. CVX 2 up red. We're going to look for puts at 181.44. First targets 179.62. Dollar Tree, not something I normally have on here because the spreads between the bid and the ask are too far apart for my liking. But we do have an inside bar. We do have a hammer candle, meaning the body's at the top with the long wick to the bottom. And we do have time frame continuity outside of the weekly candle. Okay, so this is Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday. If we hit targets here, we will flip and everything will be green. So let's look for calls on Dollar Tree at 149.92, or puts are still possible at 146.35. And that is your setup for Dollar Tree. EW 2 up red. Puts at 77.04, and again, really good magnitude to the downside. Doesn't mean we're going to hit that target, but that is where the target is set. 2 up red on Ford, okay? Because this gapped up in the morning, I want to show you how to do this. So we had a 2 up red, we trigger, we look for puts at $14. Now, normally I tell you guys that our targets go to the bottom of the wicks when we're looking for puts, but because we've got a gap, meaning there is no candle between here and here. There's nothing to fill this void here. So when we have that, our targets go to the top of the wick. So target 1, target 2, and then your next target would be the bottom of this candle. We're probably not going to hit that on Friday. You never know, but I would suspect that that's not a high probability. See what I did there? Probability. GE 2 up red, puts at 84.87, good magnitude, good space here to move to first targets at 83.19. GS, Goldman Sachs, 2 up red. We'll look for puts. I thought I was going to look for puts here. We have a hammer candle here. So I remember what I did here. So these 2 pink lines, guys, are my setup for the weekly chart. So now if we go to the weekly, we've already gone 2 down on the week right here. Barely ticked. And look, funny enough, inside bar off the week, this was our setup. But guess what happened? Almost to a T, it hits that. What do we have? 375.01. And this is why I tell you guys to be very careful. 375.01 versus 375.10. So 9 cents on a $375 stock. It's nothing. So a lot of times we'll come and we'll hit these targets and we'll retrace. You'll never see that target again. That's why I like to see the meat on the bones, the difference there. I like to see this target, way down here. I like to see some movement on there. No, I can't. It's not letting me move it. Anyways, I like to see those with a little bit more room because sometimes, a lot of times, we'll hit that target and we reverse. We'll never see that target again, just like what we saw here. But the point I was trying to get to earlier, I was looking for a 2 up here. That's this yellow line. We are past this purple line here. That's the 50% marker on the weekly. That is also part of my indicator. Okay, I give you 50% markers on the daily, the weekly, and the monthly. This is on the weekly. We have already passed through that 50% mark. When that happens, we have a high probability of going outside or a 3 bar or an outside bar. Okay, I think that's probably what happens with Goldman Sachs tomorrow. So that's why I've got this at the top. We've got a hammer candle. Yes, it's red, but it is a hammer candle. We're going to look for calls here at 386.50. Second target is the trigger to go outside bar on Goldman Sachs. Pay attention to that. You don't have to play it, but take a look. I would say there's a very high probability that we go outside bar on GS tomorrow. IWM, 2 up red. We're going to look for puts at 186.13. Magnitude again, all the way down here at 180.8 on IWM. JP Morgan, 2 up red. We'll look for puts at 135.43. KDP, 2 up red. We look for puts at 38.56. First targets we can mark out as a team, 37.78 on Keurig Dr. Pepper. MU, 2 up red. I moved that. There we go. 2 up red. So we're going to look for puts at 55.10. First targets again, we can mark that out. Bottom of that big outside bar, 52.61 is the first target. Uber, 2 up red. A lot of those on these setups today. We're going to look for puts on Uber at $28.30. First target, 27.64. Upstart, UPST. I wonder, is Upstart the one? I don't remember. Sorry, guys. I'm thinking of myself, and we're talking here. Anyways, this might have been one of the plays that a guy in our room called out. South Floyd Strat said that Upstart would go outside bar to pay attention to it. I was going to mention it in yesterday's video, and I forgot. So if it was Upstart, he was correct. We went outside bar today. Puts on Upstart. We have a 2 up red. We've got pretty much full time frame continuity to the downside outside of the week. Puts at $18.70. And make sure, again, guys, stay till the end of this video. Those top 5 plays are coming up really quick. Walmart has an outside bar, but we've got full time frame continuity to the upside. I'm going to look for calls on this at 153.61. But again, I'm not saying this is how it's going to play out. But this is very similar to what we just talked about, where we get these... There's not a lot of room here between the trigger and the target. There's 10 cents. So what I don't want to see is this bar come up like so and then end up retracing and you're still holding it. I want you to see it come up. If it retraces to that target, get out. If it ends up running later in the day, so what? Okay? Take your profit where profit is given to you and move on to the next trade. Too many times, guys, people want to have a get-rich-quick scheme, and that's not in the stock market. Not very often, anyways. It's a blue moon. It's a I don't want to say one-hit wonder, but they don't happen very often. The successful traders take their profit when profit is given to them, and they move on to the next trades. From Walmart, we go to XEL, 2 up red. We'll look for puts at $70.08. XOM, 2 up red. Puts at 110.18. XOP, 2 up red. Puts at 149.02. Beyond, 2 up red. Puts at 14.03 and good magnitude down to that downside there. XLU, 2 up red. Good magnitude. We'll put puts on at 71.19. 2 up red on XLV. Puts at 138.67. And 2 up red on eBay with a shooter candle. Puts at 45.05. Good magnitude to that downside. GM, 2 up red. And you know what I'm going to do, guys? Check out, I'm going to put a video at the end. It's going to show you how to manage your trades like I talked about earlier in the video. So make sure you're clicking on that link as well. I'll also put the monthly swing video at the end of this video for you guys to check out. General Motors, 2 up red. Shooter candle. Puts at 44.2. And RIVN, Rivian, 2 up red. Puts at $30.30. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, as promised, let's do our top fives. Before we do that, guys, please make sure you click that thumbs up. Helps with the algorithms. If you have comments, questions, leave them down below, please. I appreciate those. I'll answer anything you guys ask. And then subscribe. Hit that subscribe button if you like what I'm doing here, if you want more of it. And then hit the bell. The bell sends out the notifications for when I do send out these videos every day. So, first on the list, and these are in no particular order, BAC has an inside bar. We've got full time frame continuity to the downside. You already know how these inside bars work. I've explained them to you. We look for that spring-loaded action. I'm going to change that to yellow. And again, this inside bar, we had the break to the upside. We go back, and this is actually a 3-1 setup. So you notice there was a gold highlight there. That's also part of the indicator. It highlights these 3-1 setups, which are very rare, but they tend to do very, very well. And if we look at this last 3-1 setup, we triggered, and we had a big, big run down on BAC. Now, if we go find the next gold highlight, there it is. 3-1 setup, outside bar, inside bar, and we gapped up. But this was another really, really nice run off of that 3-1 setup, that outside bar, inside bar. So now we're back to our actual setup for tomorrow. Calls at 37.69, first targets at 37.85, puts at 36.55, first targets at 36.40. That's on BAC, Bank of America. That's number 1. Number 2, Wells Fargo, 2 up, red. Okay, we're going to look for puts on this thing at 46.46. First target at 46.14. Fantastic time frame continuity to the downside. We've got this big bearish bar to the downside. The quarterly is the only thing that's green. But that purple line, that's my quarterly mark. So look at. Where is that? That's my quarterly mark there. So that's for us to go 2 up. My bad. I thought that was my 2 down bar. We are above the quarterly right now. So this will not switch to red, but we are going to look for puts on this at 46.46. First target, 46.14 on WFC. Alibaba, inside bar, shooter candle. There's a few things conflicting here, but in its essence, we have an inside bar. So we're going to look for calls at 87.60. Good magnitude to the upside at 89.63. And puts are possible at 84.26 and first target at 82.25. Now, these next two guys, these are the ones I'm really the most interested in. NEO tends to have really, really big runs. That's why I love it. NEO is sitting on an inside bar. Okay, so we can look for calls at 12.55, puts at 11.95. That blue line is the monthly. Let's go take a look at what we have there. Okay, so the monthly is sitting on an inside bar. This is what I'm looking at. If we trigger on the daily to the upside, our first target is the break to go 2 up on the month of December. Okay, that would be a good sign. So we break the day, we break the month. And that's the domino effect of what the time frame continuity is. So inside bar on the day, inside bar on the month. If we trigger the day and hit targets, we trigger the month. So that's an important play on NEO, something I will really be watching tomorrow. The last one we've got, guys, is SPY. SPY will always be on my list if I see a setup. SPY's got a 2 up red. I don't know how SPY is going to play out, but when we have the 2 up reds, probability tells me that this is going to trend down. I don't believe we hit targets at 393 tomorrow, but I do believe that we have a good possibility and probability of trending to the downside off of this 2 up red. So we can look for puts on SPY at 404.75. Guys, at the end of this video, like I said, I will give you the monthly swing list and what was the other video? Oh, how to manage your trades. I'll throw a SPY video on there on how to manage your trades when you set your triggers and targets on a higher time frame, and you can hop down to a lower time frame to manage it. Okay, thank you very much. Good luck trading on Lotto Friday. Have a fantastic weekend, and we will see you guys all on the next one. Bye-bye.